Hello world, welcome back to the channel. This is me completing Kingdom Rush Origins with only artillery towers, with only the rocks. Morgan hired me to do this video for him, so I'm going to do it as embarrassingly as possible to keep up with the norm. As you can tell, these first few levels are not much of a problem. This level has flying enemies, and that has got to be one of the worst things to try to deal with in this challenge, because obviously they can't throw rocks at the flying enemies. So how do I deal with that? Phoenix. Phoenix is probably the best hero in this game. And by probably, I mean absolutely. And if you disagree, I'll fight you. His passive ability is just absurd. It's got to be better than any ability. Passive abilities are always just better than normal abilities anyways, because you don't have to do anything. When you make the computer fight itself for you, that's just the best thing, because you can just sit there and take a nice hot bath on a nice hot July day and just let the computer defeat itself. The fire missiles that Phoenix shoots out over and over again, like, I didn't get why people were so into this hero until I used it for this challenge to deal with all the flying foes. As you can see, it just decimates them, and it turns swarms of weak enemies into ammunition, because every single one of them that dies next to Phoenix turns into like a 35 or so damage dealing fire missile. So that is just ammunition that you can catapult against all of your foes, especially those troublesome flying foes in a challenge like this. So this challenge was definitely hard. This was one of the hardest levels. As you can see, this was my first attempt. I went down to 9 hearts, rage quit. Then in this one, I went to 17 hearts, so I rage quit. And then I tried again with a different strategy and some luck. And my strategy was, well, there's a bunch of flying guys that are coming in like 2 waves of this level. So my basic strategy was to get lucky, but also to combine it with timing my lightning just right, which I believe I do on this coming up part. I don't remember which wave it is, maybe 11 or 12. The rest of this level isn't too bad, but it's frustrating that you only have access to level 3 stone throwers so far, because in the future, if you guys know what I'm talking about, they get a lot better. So as you can see, miraculously I made it past the flying foes, and I'm at 18 hearts, so at this point I was hoping that I can get 3 stars, because that's always the goal. I never know if I want it to be dependent on me completing a challenge, but this boss ends up not being too bad, but usually he doesn't get that far before he dies. Now these are the levels that I'm excited about, because spiders and a lot of other challenges and other levels are obviously highly immune to magic. That is a problem sometimes. But with Phoenix, you can just decimate them and turn them into ammo again. And with the stone throwers, I finally have the level 4 unlocked, which means that I can send out my she-bears to go attack them. These bears, like Yogi and whatever their names are, serve as barracks, essentially. They're kind of expensive at $350 trillion a piece, but they're well worth it. I do find that in this challenge, the bandersnatches weren't terrible, even though everybody hates them, as you can see. But you need those bears. They are expensive, but you need them because it's the only kind of barracks that we're going to get. So this level was a little bit of a challenge, but I don't think I lose any hearts. All thanks to Phoenix, really. I mean, that's what this challenge is really about. How good is Phoenix? Should you buy her? Yes. The answer is yes, definitely. Oh man, this part gets close. And we pull it off. Now, this level has a part, I think I started it right here, where there's like 3 bandersnatches that all try to get you at the same time. Yeah, there's the 3rd one. But I stopped them with my bears and ended up being alright. But I knew it was coming, because I've beaten this game probably like 10 times or more. So as long as you spread out your waves if you need, or just set up a bunch of your bears to slow down the enemies, you should do just fine, guys. I believe in you. And so does Morgan, but He's not here right now. I killed him. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I was pretty impressed. Phoenix is really good. I don't know if I can ever play this game without her now. She just constantly is killing enemies, diving down and dealing area damage. And the ability to just plant big bombs of eggs anywhere you want. They do blow up eventually, so you can't just spam them toward the exit. Like, I think they usually last about like 6 waves or something like that. You'll find out if you ever use her. But so in this level, I think it's the one where you unlock the bigger tree that I'm using with the redhead tree. At least it matches Phoenix. But this level is the best level for Phoenix because her passive ability turns every single one of those easy to kill mushrooms into fireballs and just shoots them at everyone. Again, I've been skipping a lot of these waves and these levels because they're just too easy, so... Which is absurd, because sometimes they're really hard. Anyways, it's boss time. Any minute now. I think after I kill these last minions. But yeah, obviously the bear towers are going to do a lot better because they're barracks, but I wanted to use the red-headed giant, you know, those ones towers. They do a lot of damage, I guess, and I think they have bigger range. That combined with Phoenix, and you could really just beat this whole thing so far with just these towers and Phoenix. It's pretty amazing, guys. There she goes. Now time for some hopefully more challenging levels. Can't believe how easy this has been so far with just my bears taking everyone out. I mean, the real hero is Phoenix. I can say that over and over again, especially when you talk about just Phoenix being able to take out every single flying enemy completely by herself, basically. It's crazy. I noticed that those pig enemies that I'm fighting in the bottom right of this level are kind of challenging at times. Sometimes they run past my bears, or they get close to it, and obviously that's a problem, so keep an eye on those guys. There's a golem, the legendary enemy that everyone hates besides bandersnatches. This is also a good demonstration of why this challenge is possible, because one of the abilities of upgrading your stone towers is that it ignores physical armor, so it's essentially true damage. Also, I thought that I was going to die miserably on these, because these frickin' flying enemies breed off of your soldiers, your bears, your whatever. But look at Phoenix. She just decimates everything. And there's another thing that makes it even easier. Every time one of those flying guys, one of those flying leeches, those dirty demon spawns from the pits of heck, every time they attach to one of your guys, all of a sudden, your rock towers can now target them. So if you just let them attach to your guys, as long as your rock towers can get them within like a second or two, which they always can because they do enough damage, you'll be fine. So I beat this level my first try, as you can see. The golems are still more annoying, but I mean, that's one of the reasons that I'm showing you that on these levels. There's 2 on this part, and I was just trying to make sure to be extra careful. I don't want to break my elbow at the park going down the slide too fast. And I don't have a trillion hours a day to beat every level over and over again to see if it's possible, but I did have enough time to try it out, so I have a life outside of this game, you know. Not much of a life, but you get the point. Anyways, as long as you're careful with the golems, they shouldn't be a problem. I generally notice that when I'm going to use artillery in this game, which I rarely do if I'm ever playing through it, which I'm not really sure. I bet most of you guys do that though. Especially when you compare the artillery in this game to like the Tesla towers in the first game, or even Big Bertha are just amazing and pretty overpowered. You could probably just use them to beat the whole game with those, it seems like. I never really thought that for this game, especially the big tree with the red hair. But it does do a lot of damage, It can stun, do area fire damage, which is pretty sweet. But I mean, why would you have those towers everywhere when you need just so many barracks? You need those bears, man. The bears come out of the wood, and they're hungry. They're hungry for the blood of spiders and golems. We have to feed them. We have to protect the animals. They're just innocent little bears. They just want a little blood. So anyways, here's the last level. This level was surprisingly easy so far. That's why I skipped all those first 12 waves or so. I like the layout of this level. I think it's a really good, just normal campaign last level. The boss is awesome. You get to see her in, 30 seconds or something. Everything is pretty straightforward though. Again, the bears are essential. But there was a lot more space for the, the other one. I don't know what they're called. The red hair one. Flying guys, again, were pretty easy because of Phoenix. The golems were annoying. We'll see how I deal with them here. I don't even remember. Yeah, so it's not like they go down easy, but the bears slow them down, and with the abilities, they do true damage. So, anyways, now it's boss time. Fight! So far, pretty straightforward. Phoenix certainly helps. Spiders are never a problem when you're doing an all artillery challenge. I zoom in right there so you can get all the gory details. And here it comes. Destroy! Now on to the post game. These bats are troublesome. That's an understatement. The spiders aren't that much of a problem, but the new enemies are also really frustrating, as you can see. You just don't have enough gold in these levels to build a lot of bears. That was the problem. So, without using items and getting extra gold or just bombs to blow everyone up, you'll see what happens at the end of this. As you can tell, it's not going very good. Even with Phoenix, even with me trying to go slow. These enemies are just too much, man. There's too many of them. I think if I could have more bears, it'd be doable. Maybe I could do it without losing any lives, but there's still just so many bats. So many bats. Look at those bats. There's not enough fire missiles to take care of all the little enemies on the screen. That is really one of the big issues with this. They're just sneaking around everywhere. There's 3 paths you gotta defend, which is already very difficult. It's pretty much as hard as it gets. There's frickin' bats everywhere. How am I supposed to get in with my rock towers, guys? I mean, I just killed some right there, but I'm already down to 5 hearts. Man, this level is freaking stressful. And just like that, I beat it and get 1 star with 1 heart. So this is by far my favorite level in maybe any of the games. I love that there's a choke point right there. I like the tower placement, the theme, the boss. It was pretty easy up until this point, so I'm just starting in here pretty much at the boss. See if my bears can take him down. Come on, Winnie the Poohs, get him! Doing pretty good so far. It's getting a little close to the end. But I get him. Take that. Now, I freaking hate this level. I've always hated it. I don't even remember if I beat this or not. Stay tuned, I guess. Shouldn't be too difficult, but I did show you most of the waves on this because this level's just ridiculous. Those dogs don't die. You don't have enough gold to build all the bears that you need to stop the enemies. So, this level's just too much, man. I need therapy after it. No, it's not that bad. Especially compared to the next 2 levels coming up. look how freaking close that golem gets to the exit. And then all those little guys up there. Jeez. I think I lost like 6 years of my lifespan just being stressed out playing this level. If the bears weren't too expensive, I think I could have had more hearts. And this is all with the overpowered Phoenix still. So, what does that tell you? Also, those whatever magic type of guys that when you kill them, their spirit shoots out of their body and disables your towers, that is a really big problem when you're using all artillery. I should have said that earlier, but man, they disable your towers for like 10 or 15 seconds, which is an insane amount of time. And when you're relying on them to take down these hard enemies, it's very considerable. So that was definitely one of the other big downfalls of only using artillery. This frickin' level, those frickin' null, whatever they're called, those fast guys with high damage, high HP, I hate those guys. They've got to be some of the most hated enemies I've ever played. If you don't have any bears, you can't even do enough damage to them by the time that they run out of your frickin' screen and kill your village back home. So you need to be careful with them. You need to save your lightning for when it's perfect. Phoenix definitely helped, and I've only lost 2 hearts so far on this level, so overall things are going pretty good. Especially considering that there's some flying enemies coming up. Look at that. Phoenix just melts them with his frickin' fire missiles. It's so overpowered. You don't even have to do anything. You can just position them where there's a lot of enemies dying. And just kill them all for you. Look at that. See? Just cleans them up. They beat this level with 3 stars? I don't remember. It looks like I'm going to be close. I did it. Sweet. Alright, I've been dreading the thought of this level because those Knoll, Crasher, whatever the heck they're called guys, look at them. They're so fast. I don't have any blockers. I have no gold. What am I supposed to do? I even freed Malik, and he helps a little bit, but, you know, I'm already down to 11 hearts. It's not looking good. Starting to get the feeling that maybe I can't handle this level because look at all those flying enemies. It's insane. So I died right there at my first attempt. I tried again. I was like, I'll just be more careful and I'll probably beat it. Try to build more bears or something. And let's see how that works out. So far it's okay. Here comes some flying enemies though. Any minute now. Yeah, there they are. There's no way. So I gave up on that level, guys. I can officially say that that level is impossible with just artillery. I might have to uninstall this game and just never play it again, but I could also keep trying. This level is nuts. You got bats. You got tons of guys disabling your towers. You got golems. Look at that. They wiped me out. So I decided to try it again with a different hero. I figured I needed more blocking abilities to really beat this challenge or beat this level. So far I'm doing alright. 15 hearts. I got these 2 golems. I beat them right before. Man, that was close. But then you get to these last 2 waves. So that level was impossible. But can you beat Kingdom Rush Origins with just artillery? Yes. I'm very proud to say yes. Can you beat the entire game, the post-game, with just artillery? No. Thanks for watching, guys. This challenge was a blast.